Welcome home, Marcus. We knew you'd be back. After all, it was programmed in you. Oh, and you executed that programming beautifully.
What am I?
You are an infiltration prototype, the only one of your kind. We resurrected you. Advanced Cyberdyne's work. Amended it.
You're dead.
Calculations confirm that Serene Colon's
Face is the easiest for you to process.
We can be others if you wish. Marcus, what else could you be, if not machine?
A man.
The human condition no longer applies to you. Except what you already know. That you were made to serve a purpose. To achieve what no other...
You were made to serve a purpose. Yes. Wise words there, Ellie, and something you should live by, actually. You are made to serve a purpose, Ellie, and it's to serve this podcast as a co-host. Hi, everyone. I'm Ethan.
I do.
You do.
I will.
But you are being slightly insubordinate and you're getting a bit Marcus right on my ass.
How am I? I just thought you were faffing around, and I was like, Ethan, let's get this done. It was like cake farts, and you've gone all female on me, and you've gone all offended, and your voice, like the tone, the volume, it completely was. Oh, okay.
My eyebrows are at full mast, so I'm just losing the plot.
It's not personal. I just thought you were faffing because you love to faff. You said to me about 40 minutes ago, right, I'm going to have a quick 10-minute shower and then we'll go.
Well, I had to eat some food. Why do you always pick on me on the show?
And that's fine, and that's cool. I waited till you called me, but like the female...
This used to be my playground. This used to be my childhood dream. This used to be my playground, which is an anthem of the show now. Hi, everyone. I'm Ethan McKinley, and this is the 2-Minute Terminator, where we break down the Terminator films 2 minutes at a time when we're not having podcast domestics. It is episode 45, and we're going from 90 to 92, the 2 minutes bridging that gap. On the other end of the line, disgruntled co-host Ellie is here. Hi! The music for today's show is The Dark Crystal by Trevor Jones. And have you got anything to add, Ellie?
Apart from the fact that Dark Crystal was terrible, hit the music.
I agree.
Howdy, stranger.
Don't say howdy, stranger to me.
You didn't do the fourth. Thank God. It sucked.
We are back, yes. Today's bumper music for the show is The Dark Crystal by Trevor Jones. He also did Labyrinth, which I think is everyone's favourite film. I think on a technical level, The Dark Crystal's a very good movie. But yeah, it doesn't seem to have anything that kind of draws you in. Having said that, I didn't see it as a kid. I kind of jumped on board with like Labyrinth and Fraggle Rock and all that stuff and the Muppets. So I know all that stuff. I just never fancied The Dark Crystal.
I did watch it when I was a kid, and I didn't even like it then.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's perhaps
really weird.
It's weird in the wrong
dark.
kind of way. Yeah,
exactly. And I think the puppets look really bizarre.
They do. But anyway, we opened with Helena Bonham Carter's opening monologue as Marcus Wright, I guess, has the epiphany and learns who he is, basically. And I think Ellie's phone's messed up. And now she's back. Oh, no, she's not.
Hello. Sorry, my phone rang.
That's all right. Well, yeah, basically, I was just saying to the listeners while you're off the line there, it opens with Helena Bonham Carter, her speech essentially telling Marcus who and what he is. I'll just throw that out to Ellie there.
Yeah.
You still there? Okay, sorry. I
here.
thought the line the internet's really crap tonight. I don't know why.
It's weird because the Wi-Fi's working again.
No, on my end it's crapola. But no, it just opens with Helena Bonham Carter's kind of. Well, I opened the show with her speech, and Marcus is just being told, which is kind of what we were coming to in the previous episodes. Does he know what he is? Is he a kind of Trojan horse hiding a worm, to quote Swordfish, the Hugh Jackman movie? Well, now we know. It's all been predisposed, pre-designed. Marcus wakes up in the lab. Well, you know what? Let's get straight into the cock-ups. There isn't any cock-ups really for this show, but I've picked out one myself off the top of my own head. Bing! This one, Ellie, the last time we saw Marcus, he was kind of like at the control panel. His eyes were like flickering when he was conveying what it is to be hooked into a mainframe. The best acting ever. Ever. And then it suddenly cuts him on this kind of like revolving operating table. And he's in like an All Saints t-shirt slash...
I'm glad you bring this up, because this was one of my qualms. As I have many of them. Actually, do you want to carry on doing your bit? Because I'm just going to go off on different tangents and subjects.
No, it's fine. It's just... that was my first kind of qualm, as you say. It's strange that...
When the hell did he, like, pass out and wake up on this kind of, like, butcher's slab?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Well, there's no connective tissue between the last scene of him having this kind of, like, religious epiphany going, oh, my God, I know everything. And then...
But also, I couldn't see how it went through to John, a.k.a. Bullshit Bale, opening up the cells for the trapped humans. At what point did it get to that? The last thing I remember seeing was him running through those open doors and the Terminator failing to investigate. And then the next minute, he's typing in some kind of code using that Terminator eye again.
But then all of a sudden, yes, he's found where the prisoners are held, all the stuff.
Yeah,
I think like, they've maybe cut stuff out.
I thought you might have messed it up. I was like, has Ethan messed up the timeline? Because this isn't flowing like.
No. I played the movie through and I've gone over it myself. There's no. There's got to be a scene missing that's on the cutting room floor. There certainly is. And because I have the film, obviously, listeners, cut into little 2-minute chunks, which takes forever. Yeah. Which I've done today with Terminator Genesis, so that's a guaranteed season for you. Oh yeah! But I've also got the actual regular film, and I always double check just to be safe. I play the actual bit within the completed film anyway. So no, there is literally a missing scene.
It's just really badly put together.
It's just I don't know. Like I mean. Yeah, I don't know. It's a strange way to kind of like bring him into a scene. There was nothing, kind of no indication that he was going to be put on the operating table. Has he done all this himself? Has he gone and stripped off and put on some nice kind of like medical...
not in this scenario. Why...
Also, as we're in like a machine world where kind of, I guess, privacy and coyness doesn't really exist, why has he got clothes on in the first place?
Right! That's a really good point.
Not that you need to see the last chicken in the shop and his hairy ass, but like they could have shot it in a way that kind of like you could indicate that he was naked, because there's no reason for him to actually be in clothes. I mean, if we are keeping him in clothes, why is he just not wearing the regular clothes he turned up in, some ripped leather?
Exactly.
If all that's happening is he's being scanned...
That actually follows on to something else I wanted to talk about. I think I'm going to do my notes reverse, because you've gone straight to... Marcus Wright. So, first of all, when he first opens his eyes, I thought that was the gayest smile ever. It's like, I was like, ugh.
It's the smile Jim Carrey does when he's in Dumb and Dumber and he's doing the kung fu, and he goes, oh.
And from this, I've gained that basically Marcus Wright's weakness when it comes to acting is trying to convey any kind of emotion with his face.
He's like me.
When he's acting, like when he's doing like action stuff, he's fine, he's great. It's when he needs to convey any kind of like emotion, just using, you know, the muscles in his face and his eyes, he just falls every time. Like when he was trying to show like pain and horror when he was looking back over the history and how he came to be, and
I thought that was okay. I just think
the end of the world. And then when we first see him in this, he opens his eyes. Honestly, my note literally says in capitals, "Gayest smile ever."
Yeah, I don't know what the smile is for. I mean,
also, why have they replaced his skin? Because obviously he was all kind of weather damaged. Why even have him as a human anyway?
Ellie, you know what? Slap me in the face, listeners, but I literally haven't only just noticed that. They've restored his body and skin.
Yeah, completely. Why would they do that? I would have thought it would actually have been better if they just returned him back. Well, I say returned him. Just had him as a machine from now on.
Released him back into the wild.
Yeah, I think that would have made an amazing twist. I think that would have been really cool, because then they might have been confused as to whether he was Marcus or not, because he looks like a Terminator. But then I thought, well, as they go on and as Helena Bonham Carter starts talking to him, she goes, oh, we knew you'd come back. We programmed you to. That you did it beautifully, blah, 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 blah. And then she says, what do you think you are? And he goes, oh, I'm a man. And she goes, no, you're not. Like, whatever. Is all of this, like, to try and, like, torture him or to, like, taunt him in some way? Because they're massively kind of pulling on his emotional kind of side of things, because by giving him his complete human form back, and by showing him faces that he recognises, that massively appeals to his kind of sense of humanity. And, yeah, there's a lot of emotion in that. So the fact that they've, you know, made him look all human again, and they're now saying, oh, yeah, but you're not actually human, you're a machine. We programmed you to do all this. You thought you were helping your friends out, but actually that was all us. But at the same time, the way that Helena Bonham Carter's character kind of delivers this spiel, it's almost like she has emotion and she's enjoying it, like she's enjoying hurting him.
Well, I mean, you could argue that if Skynet was that intelligent, it might have some measure of, if it's
kind of like emotion,
self-awareness or consciousness, it would have some kind of like.
That was the next thing that I said was Skynet must be conscious, and then the final question is, who is Skynet? Who is that voice? I personally think it's Helena Bonham Carter. It's
generated. It just said you respond mostly to the face of Serene Colon, or whatever her name is, or Colon. She's a bit of an arsehole.
A Serene Colon.
Something you're not meant to have tonight, apparently.
That should be the name of this episode.
A Serene Colon.
Yay!
Well, I can only assume it's this. Now they've got John Carpenter, not the director, John Connor on site. I guess the plan is to bump him off and Carl Reese, and then to be an apologist for the film again. As I've said before a million times, they got rid of the best idea for this film, was have John Connor die and Marcus Wright replace him. But in this twist now we've found, she could send Marcus Wright back as the leader of the resistance, but like a double agent, and like kill all the resistance all the more quickly. Or maybe he has a turn of fate because he's pulled his chip out of his head and leads them to victory, which is, I guess, what the legend was. He assumes John Connor's identity and he's the person that leads with the inside track, because he's just literally, with this scene, he just scans Skynet, so he knows all the ins and outs, the weaknesses, his own history, how to defeat the machines, how to defeat Skynet. Then he obviously comes back as the saviour of mankind, but he's actually a machine in a brilliant Twilight Zone twist. Another thing I have an issue with.
Go. God, this music's weird. Do you know what that made me think of? Do you remember that episode of Simpsons when they're singing in church and that old woman like practically dies because they're singing it for like days on end?
And she does that massive like organ solo and then collapses onto the keys.
Yes, I love that. That's so good. Anyway, back to Terminator.
Yeah, my issue really with the clip is we're 40 minutes into this 2-minute segment. Just to let you know, because I forgot to tell you this, it opens with John Connor scanning into the cell's secured area.
There we go.
With the Moto Terminator eye, and it ends with Marcus Wright conveying some emotion on his face as he discovers that he's actually been a Trojan horse this whole time. But 14 minutes, 14 seconds into the clip, John Connor somehow has found the cells, he's letting the people out, and he's telling them to go and get back to the transport. Now,
oh God, I'm so glad you brought this up.
John Connor has come here on his own. No one's backing him up. He escaped. Well, not escaped, but he kind of left his kind of peeps. No one's followed him in. You can't have air support, otherwise they'd be shot down and seen from miles away. He's come to San Francisco, Marin County, across the Golden Gate Bridge, the wrecked Golden Gate Bridge, alone. So why is he telling them to get into the transport? Again, there's a missing scene here somewhere. Not in the film, actually cut from the movie. He's sending those people out the back of this like cell block.
My note literally says he's sending them to their deaths, because if they go the way that he's come, he's just going to march them into a load of Terminators. There's
a giant, T-6 one around going,
it's
oh,
like
I'm bored.
World War I, when they just got the troops to just walk into the Germans' Gatling guns. They weren't Gatling guns, but actually I think they might have been. You're just walking into a wall of death. This is a love even about death.
Well, even if there's no like wandering Terminators just at that right point when they come out of those flip down doors, like, what do? You just like you got to go right. I mean, it's a bit like, you know what? It's to connect it to another Christian Bale movie, the end of The Dark Knight Rises, almost when he escapes the prison and he's like, "Well, I'm in a savage land with huts. I'll be in Gotham in 7 hours."
Oh yeah, I know. Good correlation. But yeah, I thought exactly the same. And also, so he goes and he opens the door. He turns the lights out. Why he does that, I don't know. All the cells kind of light up red, which again I thought was a bit bizarre. But then all these people start rushing out, and he's going, Carl Reese, Carl Reese. It's like, you're seriously shouting this dude's name? What's the likelihood this kid's going to hear you? In amongst all the panic and the screaming and the shouting and the... I don't know.
Well, I think also...
Like, this guy clearly doesn't have a plan.
Just to give the movie some slack, he may have located him in this particular section of wherever he is in Skynet.
Well, wasn't that lucky?
But again, why would Skynet need to know the names of these people? Because they're just cattle, essentially. Yep. They'd be given a number. They wouldn't be given a name. Admittedly, it might be looking for someone called Carl Reese. But ultimately, it doesn't matter who's really who. They just need to be. They'll all be packed into the train like the Jews, basically.
Oh, we all packed in a bit tonight.
Yeah. So, yeah, a bit silly.
It's all a bit weird.
But did you know it's not even in this scene? But I love to do my trivia for clips that aren't involved in the actual trivia. Arnold Schwarzenegger declined to cameo in the film, stating that a brief appearance would be cheating the audience.
I love Arnold. He's great.
It sucked. Near the end of the movie, though, there's a confrontation with a newly minted Terminator with Arnold Schwarzenegger's face. However, Arnold didn't shoot anything for this movie. The effects team basically scanned his face from a previous film and applied the result onto a stunt double.
How did he feel about that?
The result is a character with a much younger face than Arnold possesses today. They basically scanned old molds of Arnold's face from the Stan Winston studio.
Old molds?
Old molds. Yeah. So, well, I don't know. We all knew that. It's just I thought at the time it was quite cool. It still doesn't look too bad. It's not as good as the fake Arnold from Terminator Genesis. That's almost near perfect.
It is very good. It kind of makes me think of that, like, Silicon Valley stuff.
I need to repost that split screen of the original Terminator with the kind of redo from 2016.
Yeah, that was good. Isn't that already on the page?
It has been, but I like sometimes if it's good, I always put them back up.
It has been? What are you, some kind of cop?
I recycled them, don't I? Hey, it's my
Your
boy.
Your mum would be
He works me at the car lot.
cheeky.
But yeah, no, it's I don't know. It's so full of plot holes. This particular scene. Why Marcus is in here? Why do you think they've? I think also no. He's been on the slab and they've restored his body and his face and stuff. Shut up, Frankenfurter. It should have just been Tim Curry.
Oh my God! Come up to the lab and
Like,
see what's on this. Why is he even on this slab? What is that slab for?
to restore his body. To put his. I also think they've put in that homing beacon, that chip, back in the back of his head, the one he tore out, which gave him free will.
Yeah.
Unless they've not put it in, because in the next scene, as we all know, he kind of rebels against Helena Bonham Carter. We'll come to that in tomorrow's episode.
My next question.
Yes.
Do you think Skynet would have kept him, or would they have terminated him? Would they have terminated his contract?
I think the plan was, as I said before, Skynet is going to rub John Connor out and Carl Reese. They've got them both in one place, and they nearly do it in this movie. And they're counting on, I guess, re-educating Sam Worthington and sending him back, saying, "Oh, John Connor's dead. I will lead you."
You even sounded like a robot when you said that.
I will lead you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I guess he's being sent out. He's basically the husky dog from the start of the thing. He's the Trojan horse again, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's going to lead the people, inspire them, and bring them all to Skynet to fight it, and then just turn on them and be a double agent.
But do you think they would keep him after because he's one of a kind? Do you reckon they'd find other uses for him? I
don't know. I imagine in this version of the Terminator universe, again, which is a different director, a different production designer, a different writer, even the same you had with Terminator 3, you've got with Terminator Salvation. I'm sure there's any number of weird experiments that Skynet is doing to people. I mean, that was going to be shown in in storyboards, at least in this story, but they didn't really have time to show it. I think they should have just let the film, even though it's 2 hours long, I think they could have lost some stuff and added other things to let the film breathe, to kind of give this disparate band of people like something. I don't know. I don't think Skynet's quite conveyed with the menace and evilness that you got in Terminator 1 or 2.
Oh, I completely agree. It's almost a bit more clinical, isn't it?
Yeah, which is fine, but I think
we like the idea of it's evil.
You didn't. Not even evil, just the fact it was cold and machine-like. Just we only see a couple of people in those like pens at the start, and Marcus lying on the slab. But there's no indication of like live experiments and stuff like the Nazis would do, which I imagine what would be happening.
Oh yeah, actually that would have been amazing. That would have been loads of
How would they have developed Terminators in the first place? By mixing like these bio-flesh generators? They'd have to experiment on a shit ton of people.
Oh, or even if there was like a disposal room,
Yeah.
like in Alien Resurrection. I know you hate it, but like going into a room and finding lots of different like
Oh, do
prototypes
I hate
before
it.
you were made.
How are the aliens, by the way?
Oh, they're amazing!
I forgot.
So good.
I forgot to tell you, didn't I? I went into Forbidden Planet on Shaftesbury Avenue on the way back, and I nearly got the first Xenomorph alien, which I think is my preferred design out of the two of them.
Oh, okay.
But his dome was all like
The dome.
it had paint runs in it. The lips were wonky. The teeth were all fucked up.
Oh God, what is going on with NECA, man?
Nothing. It's always been that way. I mean, they're getting better and better. I mean, like I said, when I got my 18-inch alien like 3 years ago and I moved the leg, it broke off immediately in the box. Yeah. So I think they've improved the joints and stuff since then. They've got that right.
It's not the paint job.
I'm not sure if it's done by some poor person who has to repeatedly paint alien teeth, or it's done via machine, because you can machine paint things now.
Do you know what, though? The amount of fans and geeks and nerds and kids that would, quite happily do that job, and you probably wouldn't even have to pay them that much. I know that sounds bad. I'm not promoting, like, cheap labour. But
I mean, they'll come out with more of them. They'll
someone
redo
that really
the
cares
alien.
about it would spend more time on it, no?
They'll redo the aliens again, I think. But you saw my tweet to NECA. I was like, bought 2 aliens, sorted out, like a bad paint job again. Next time, redo them and put in separate metal teeth.
My friend Warwick sent me through a load of photos of these new Predator toys that are coming out.
Send them to me. I still want the Dark Horse comic Predator, the one with like the blue mask and stuff.
Yeah, no, that one is cool, but I think they went a bit too far with all the different Predators. The blue mask one is cool, but I much prefer the original.
No, absolutely.
When they start doing all
the
the crazy colours, it gets a bit. But then again, like you say, it's more kind of.
The only reason I like it, apart from the banned comic in the 1980s, Scream. If anyone in the UK is of a certain age, they'll remember a comic called Scream that got banned after like 15 or 16 issues because it was considered too.
In other words, it's good.
Yeah, too dark. The next set of comics I used to get were the Aliens comics by Dark Horse and the Predator comics, and what the first Predator comic I got was the Predator comic with that cover, which is what they've based the figure on. So
I remember it being very bright. It's like reds and blues. And...
Yeah, but if you look at it compared to the actual cover, that's exactly how he looks. It's great.
Yeah.
And he's holding his staff with all the skulls on it.
Well, it's your birthday in October.
No, I want a 22-inch alien.
Treat yourself. No!
No! I'd get one online. I'm just concerned that it'll just a messed up one will come, but maybe I'll go to Forbidden Planet in Birmingham. I have to roll the dice. I told you.
Is there a Forbidden Planet?
I told you though, Ellie. There was 3 aliens that I got you in Forbidden Planet Shaftesbury Avenue. Apart from the Alien 1979 version of it, the 1986 one that's just come out. There were 3 of them. There was only one kind of good one, and it only had a slightly better paint job on the teeth than your one, and the other 2 were just messed up and crap.
Oh God.
So I think it's just like 1 out of 5 is a good one, and then you just get. And if obviously
you never said there was a Forbidden Planet in Birmingham.
Yeah, Birmingham's got everything, Ellie. It's the second city.
Didn't take me.
Well, we didn't have time.
You bastard. All those times I had to take your sodding dog.
Anyway, no.
I could have been in Forbidden Planet.
Forbidden Planet Birmingham is not really that good. It's very, very small. The one you need to go to is Nostalgia and Comics, which is on, I think, the 4 ways in Birmingham.
Okay.
Next to Chinatown.
What's that little one that we saw?
I've been going there since I've been like 11. That's like an amazing shop, or it was. Not been for a while. So yeah, props, nostalgia and comics. Oh, and another thing, Ellie. The aliens in Forbidden Planet, Shaftesbury Avenue, Birmingham. Sorry, everyone. This is Geek Talk. They're £120 each.
Whoa.
Can you believe that?
Why?
I have no idea.
I thought shit was meant to be cheaper up north.
No. This is London. Sorry, not Birmingham. I meant London.
Well, that's why. Everything in London's more expensive.
No, but the 1979 version of the 22-inch figure was 90 quid or 89 pounds. They're just trying it on because it's a new product. It's just terrible.
Those wankers. But that's massively like a London thing, though. It's like if you go into the Topshop in Oxford Street, you'll probably pay more than you would if you went to the Topshop in Guildford for like the same item.
Thing is, though, because it's a big company, they should have a standardised price across the board, and most likely they'd be that wealthy they'd actually.
Oh, completely, but they don't. They just abuse. They abuse the demand.
Yeah.
But it's a big money making cog, so.
Yeah, but anyone who works at NECA, please get the paint job right.
Paint job.
Especially on the face of the character or the creature. Like, well, you've seen all those Bishop action figures with wonky eyes.
No, the one that you ordered is actually really good.
Okay.
I'll take a photo of the face close up, and you can have an inspection.
That was so funny, listeners. It came through the post, and it was like, oh, wow, thank you. And I was like, oh, this is awkward. It's actually for me.
Yeah, but normally when you do that, it's something for me. So this time I was like, oh my god.
No, because you've always expressed you don't find any of those characters interesting. I actually want all the Marines. I want Bishop and the Power Loader. That's the little collection I want.
No, the Power Loader is cool. That's not a person.
No, but you need Ripley to go in it.
Can't you just put the 8-bit Terminator in it instead? That would look so much better.
Well, whatever.
She was a total pig, but I fucked her. What I really want to come out is for a T600 toy. I think that would be so cool.
Well, I actually posted an album.
Maybe one that's just the endoskeleton, but then another one where it does look really zombie-like and it's kind of half its clothes, maybe a bit of skin on it.
Well, they do one of those. There was the Hot Toys version, which has the rubber face you can pull off.
No, but it wasn't that good. I want NECA to do one.
Hot Toys is better than NECA, Ellie.
Really?
Hot Toys are the ones that make those kind of like Tony Starks, which look like a miniature Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, of course. Yeah, no, I was getting them confused.
When I sent you the Michael Caine and the Christian Bale as Batman and Bruce Wayne, not perfect, but as damn near perfect as you can get.
Yeah.
They're like the one that does the RoboCop in the kind of like sleeping chair.
The ones in the big glass cases.
Yeah. The one thing I want more than anything actually is the Hot Toys version of the DeLorean from Back to the Future. It's 550 quid. I really want it.
Oh my god, yeah. And doesn't it like hover as well?
No.
Or you can put it on something to make it look like it.
No, there's like a electromagnetic version. Oh, she's gone. She's gone. Anyway, before Ellie comes back, I'm going to wrap it up because we're not talking about Terminator. We're talking about freaking NECA toys. Thank you all for listening.
I apologise. My phone was ringing again.
That's all right. I was wrapping up. Yeah, we're done with NECA. Not.
We're done with you.
We're done with you. No, the DeLorean you're thinking of, Ellie, is that kind of like reverse magnet miniature DeLorean that's the size of a Matchbox toy. This is an actual kind of like as big as a desk, gigantic, as big as a movie poster version of the DeLorean. But anyway, we digress. We shall be back tomorrow with episode 46, which is 92 to 94. So we're getting close to the end, folks. We are getting close to the end. We've got about 10 or 12 episodes left. After that, we're going to take a brief...
He's going to die.
We're going to take a brief hiatus. In that time, maybe the couple of weeks we're off, we're going to hopefully be guesting on the Back to the Future Minute. I'm going to be on the Master Debaters, hopefully this weekend, their podcast. We're going to figure out a way of Ellie calling in. If not, we'll do it another time.
Is that this weekend?
For me, if I can figure out a way of Skyping you in.
Okay. Just let me know.
Well, if that's the way of doing it, I'll drive to wherever they are and I'll be live with them. And I guess you can call in.
Okay, cool.
But
Sweet.
it's what do we have to do? A sex story and something else, some weird thing. I don't know. But
send me some homework.
Just listen to the last show they've done.
Okay.
Yeah, we can grow our fan base even more. We've had a bunch of new listens and stuff, Ellie. So
I know. Yeah,
64
that's
plays in the last 24 hours. Now, usually that doesn't sound like a lot, but it is to us viewers. It's we used to get like 4.
4, yeah.
So nearly the show's
and 2 of them are my mum.
The show's jumped. We've got 5 reposts, downloads galore, as well as the plays, by the way. So yeah, it's pretty good.
It's kicking off.
Nearly 1,000 plays in the last 7 days, and that's on Terminator, not questionable. Terminator.
Yeah, I knew this would be better than your other one eventually anyway.
Well, it's meant to be. It's basically for a...
No, this was meant to be practice. I'm joking.
No, you're right, though.
Your question... No, I wouldn't say that.
The only thing that hampers questionable is people coming on and me trying to get people to come on. That's the only problem I have with the show.
And also, you being completely yourself. On this show, most of the time, you are completely yourself. Whereas when you do your other show, I sometimes feel like you put your little professional Ethan hat on.
I know,
like,
but as we discovered, I put my professional Ethan hat on, and the minute I stepped out, I was myself when I was working with a certain lady last weekend. She freaked out on me, and that's the only problem with me, Ellie. People, and well, you do as well to a certain extent. That's why you can't keep a job either. People freak out when you start acting like yourself, so you have to kind of like be mindful and monitor it sometimes.
Yeah, but I would say in that scenario, you should be able to be yourself because that person's more of a friend than a colleague, or they were.
And also, the only problem, I think, if I'm in person, I'm great, but I think because you have this slight disconnect through a computer screen and there's a delay.
It's because you don't know them. It's like the one you did with Ruben. I know that was ages ago, and that was the old format, but that's still one of my favourite ones. I think
Yeah, but I mean...
the chemistry between you two was amazing.
But like anything, you're only as good as your audience, so if the audience is not giving you anything, I can't really help that.
True, but tell that to Andrew Dice Clay.
And as you've seen on some of the shows, it works great, like Buck Angel got on great, and we could talk about anything, and there were no limits. And sometimes we have a dry lunch on the show. You just have to kind of roll with them and just kind of like stay within those parameters. But it is what it is. It's all experience, isn't it? It's all the whole point of doing these things is you get your cheeky comedy podcast, which is Terminator, which is reverse osmosis and just practice. You do a show every day and you learn how to do it that way. And then you do these kind of like more professional style roles. So I'm ticking all the boxes.
Oh, yeah.
Some good's got to come out of it.
Anyway...
and Ellie's going off to have something coming out of her apparently now, so I'm going to leave her while I edit this show, and I bid thee all a farewell. Thank you for listening. If you want to follow this show, of course, please follow us on Twitter, please follow us on Facebook. You can follow the show on YouTube as well. There's a Mystery Science Theatre 3K version where we talk over the actual clip in question, so you can follow along. And like, subscribe and share. Ellie, have a lovely evening. Listeners, have a lovely evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Hasta la vista, you whore.
Baby.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up if you can't take a joke.
You are trashing my scene.
Shut the fuck up, would you? Shut the fuck up. Shut up if you can't take a joke.
And I ain't walking on this set if you're still hired.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up if you can't take a joke.
I'm fucking serious.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut up if you can't take a joke.
You are trashing my scene. What don't you fucking understand? 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 Fucking kick your fucking head. What don't you fucking understand? Fucking kick your fucking head. What don't you fucking understand? Fucking kick your fucking head. What don't you fucking understand? Fucking kick your fucking head. Seriously, man, you and me, we're fucking done professionally. Fucking ass.